the upper grade and the lower grade would always like bully the grade under them. Full disclosure, I was homeschooled and my brother was the bully.
Oh, okay. I see. We've had stuff like school stabbings. We've also had like lockdowns where like weapons were brought into the school.
It was like over 1.5 million kids put in jail. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
In juvenile detention, whatever.
1.5 million?
Yeah. I think was in the single digits.
Wow. Hello everyone, welcome back to Pagoda One with
George from the UK.
John from America.
And Joanne from Canada.
Yes, hello.
So everyone, today we're talking about something a little bit different than usual.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. Very light topic.
Light.
Happy.
Oh yeah,
Chill.
light,
Very chill.
super easygoing. That's a lie. Today we'll be talking about juvenile crime in each of our respective countries.
Crime.
Anything about, I guess, what the criminals are supposed to look like.
Types of crime that happen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
youth
Youth
commits.
crimes.
The youths.
The youths.
The
Yeah.
youths. Yes.
As if we weren't one before.
Yeah.
Long time
Long
ago.
time.
Where'd you go to school, dude?
So yeah, my school was just a kind of regular high school, academy, secondary school in Scotland, in a countryside area. So there's crime, I think, in the community, but it wasn't like an urban kind of city center,
Okay.
high density sort of situation.
Oh.
So I didn't come across crime in my daily life. Like it wasn't really a big issue. So it wasn't a very criminal neighborhood kind of situation.
Okay. All right. John?
I went to a highly exclusive school.
Oh.
Really upper class, but there was a lot of crime in between grades. Like
Oh.
the upper grade and the lower grade would always like bully the grade under them. Full disclosure, I was homeschooled and my brother was the bully.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
The exclusive school was 3 people, me and my 2 brothers. So I can't talk much about crime. There wasn't a lot. There was some stealing.
Within your household.
Yeah. Yeah. There was some stealing in the
He ate
house.
my sandwich.
Vandalism of the walls.
Oh dear.
no.
Yeah.
Compared to, I guess, like both of your stories,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe mine was like probably the most violent.
Uh-oh.
So I went to a high school in the suburban area, so not in like the city center, but in a suburban neighborhood. However, there were lots of crimes committed in like my area and my neck of the woods.
By you.
Yeah, by you.
Not by me.
On your behalf.
We've had stuff like school stabbings. We've also had like lockdowns where like weapons were brought into the school and we were supposed to stay in our classrooms.
Oh my God.
So we've had like lots of kinds of like safety drills.
Out of all of the countries, I expected to have one of these stories
Yeah.
come out, but Canada was the least.
Yeah.
To be fair, the high school that was nearest to us
Yeah.
was full of drugs. Not
Okay.
much violence, just
Yeah.
it was drugged city. Yeah.
Typically, most of the students that would come to the school would take like public transportation. So whenever you got off the bus and you walked into like main gates of the school, you'd actually like smell a really strong waft of drugs as
Mary
you
J.
enter. Yes, there was lots of like vandalism that happened on school walls and school property. Like people like use whiteout to like draw on desks and all those kinds of things. And
I think that's the least of the problems in
I
that
don't-
school.
Yeah.
Oh, whiteout on the desk.
Yeah, whiteout on the
Lock
desk.
it down.
Oh no.
Next question. What is the juvenile crime rate
Juvenile crime
among
rate.
you guys? We'll start with you since yours was like
Oh, for me,
way up
okay.
there. Yeah.
I did a little bit of research about this in regards to like youth crime in Canada. So I referred to the Youth Crime Severity Index of Canada. So in 2009, it was rated around like 94.2 or something like that in 2009. But as of 2021, it's gone down to 43.5.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It kind of showed like a gradual decrease. So it showed like every single year it's been decreasing the amount of youth crimes.
Interesting.
So what it measures, this youth crime severity index, talks about like how commonly crimes are committed. If it's a severe crime, then it has like a higher weight on the like, index. So for example, if like murder or assault happened, then it would rank higher. But if like it was like each kind of crime is set at a specific
It was
number.
white out on a desk.
Oh my God.
It was like a severe.
Severe, no. I guess compared to when I was in high school, compared to now, I guess kids are a lot gentler or kinder to
Or
one another.
selective about their crimes.
Maybe they're
Or
selective.
lazy.
I remember when I, like, my first year of high school, we had a lot of, like, gang affiliations in our schools, in our local, like, neighborhoods.
Yeah,
What are your crime rates like?
Yeah.
They've similarly.
What are
actually,
your crime rates
Yeah,
like?
Go-
Similar, actually. So I looked this up as well, and for England and Wales, youth crime has gone down 82% in the past 10 years. Over the past 10 years,
Oh,
a
nice.
huge decrease.
Yeah,
apparently.
really big decline.
But it said it was accelerated by COVID. COVID really stopped a lot of it, but it was decreasing
True.
before that. But there has been an increase in knife-related crimes, or it's a knife-enabled crimes.
Knife-enabled
That's what it
crimes.
is.
The knife is like patting him on the back. Like,
Yeah.
you can do it, bro.
Yeah, knife crime is a big problem in the UK because we don't really have guns. So, what do we have?
He says as he looks at me.
I'm like, there are guns, but like they're not easily available.
Our top year was like 93.
Oh, wow.
In the past like few decades, top year was 93. It was like over 1.5 million kids put in jail. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
In juvenile detention, whatever.
1.5 million.
Yeah, over
Just, like,
1.5
way too
million.
In the UK, the past year, one time there were 600 kids in jail in England and Wales.
600. 1.5 million.
And it used to be
600.
like 800, and that was high.
But it's
Wow.
better now.
Is it
but
though?
I didn't go with coronavirus because it actually dropped even more. So I just did 2019. It's lower than this now, but now we are under 700,000 kids.
Okay, so 50%.
Sorry, like
Like,
700,000, 600. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I read it as 700 a year going through the juvenile system. But it could
Oh, and
be
not
700
being
total.
incarcerated.
I think that we kind of went into another question a little bit, which was like, what type of crimes are people doing? And
Yeah.
you were talking about stabbing as being one more of them.
Yeah, it's not just stabbing, but crimes where a knife is featured. So robberies. So not stabbing someone necessarily.
Look at this
Oh.
knife. Look at this knife.
Yeah, no. Stabbings happen, but I think that it's like less. It's much more common for not the knife to not be used, but the knife emboldens the person to commit the crime.
Got
So
it.
they'll go into the shop or they'll mug someone,
Yes.
with
Yeah.
a knife. So they don't actually stab them usually, but the knife is the threat, and that happens. So that's the thing, because kids can, in their house, they can grab a knife. And we got education in high school. We got education like don't carry a knife, because it was becoming such a thing that kids would just carry a knife in their bag for their own safety. But there's like guns, it's more likely to be used against you, or you're more likely to get injured if you carry a weapon, because you're more likely to get into a fight because you think you've got strength and power.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you get into a fight and then you get stabbed. So we had all this education like don't carry a knife, it's not cool, blah, blah, blah.
I guess in regards to like crime education, we would be given those like PowerPoint presentations that tell us like, this is what happens if you take drugs. And then they would show us like the before and after of people taking like heroin or cocaine. And like that would usually just scare everybody. So we wouldn't be doing drugs in our like, I guess in our areas.
So what's been increasing in Canada?
Even though guns are not legalized in Canada, there's like an increase in crime rate of like gun-related violence.
Among juveniles?
Not among juveniles, technically, but if we're talking about specifically among juveniles, usually it's just like physical assault or like sexual assault in most cases.
Lovely.
How about in
Well,
US?
there wasn't any specific weapon mentioned, although I could guess. However, murders have been the only category to increase year over year.
whoa,
Kid on kid murder.
It's murders done by children. It doesn't say who to.
minors?
Everything else has been dropping year over year. And this is in proportion to the numbers I said before. With the 1.5 million, there might have been more murders by number, but the percentage has been increasing with murders. Yeah.
So I'm actually curious, in the US, like what is the age of like criminal responsibility?
This is wildly across the board.
Oh, so it depends on
by
the state? Oh, it's state
The
dependent.
youngest, I used to know this. I think the youngest person ever convicted of a like more major crime was 11. Or maybe it was even before that. Youngest person in a courtroom, I think, was in the single digits. But typically, you're going to be in the teenage range for almost everything. Yeah.
Okay. In Canada, it's like a 12 typically.
Okay.
But I've heard that it can go as low as like 10 in some cases.
It's like, it depends on severity, I think.
Yeah, depending on the severity of the case.
England and Wales, it's 10.
Um,
So if you're between 10 and 17, you're a child.
Okay. Oh, 17.
I think so. 10. 10 is the minimum age you can be arrested and charged with a crime.
with a
Yeah,
liable.
otherwise it's like a social work
Oh, right, right. Social workers get involved.
I mean, they'd be involved
The
anyway, but,
6-year-old social workers, what are they doing?
Not much.
Yeah, apparently.